guys. It is Steph, Heather, and Mark, and this is Real and Raw Studios, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we are talking about something Heather just kind of brought up to me. I was like, oh, this is a good one. I mean, I'm not in it where you are right now.
Here, right now.
Yeah, but it is definitely
In the trenches.
So what we're talking about today is raising teens and the ups and the downs of the teenage child, right? So Heather was just kind of telling me, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. We're like, no big deal. She's like, it's always this, it's that, the unexpectedness with the teenagers and the moodiness, the emotional, just the emotional range they have.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're like professionals.
Oh, professional assholes.
Crazy. It's not even just the emotional, it's just the volatility.
Right.
Wow.
And a lot of times it's the entitlement, right? Of our own children. Look, my kids
Who's
are
at fault?
Again, it is. We're at fault. They're at fault. Society's at fault. Right? There's a lot of blame can be placed on this, right?
Yeah.
The individual themselves. So I was telling Heather, she was just giving me an example of something that was happening, and I'm like, she's like, tell me it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't know. Everybody's different, but I do think each child cycles if you're lucky, right? Some of them get it in college, and then watch out. That's usually like a stomach pumping or something like that. But usually, from what my experience in watching other parents and how we struggle and cringe and hold our breaths and probably sometimes drink a little more than we need to because our nerves are fucking shot, right? And you're just like holding your tongue, so you're biting it practically off. Yeah. Right? Because it's this delicate dance of being a parent, right? Disciplinarian, but also compassionate. So there's a mix. And when you're dealing with a kid who is hormonal, going through so much that we don't even know they're going through, right? And
yes.
Even if they tell you a lot, they don't tell you everything.
They don't.
No.
And we want to keep those, lines of communication open. We don't want to tell me this and then, criticize. So there are, you have to kind of, it's like a dance.
It's a dance that's a new dance every time, and you're supposed to know the new steps somehow.
Very, very, professional and eloquent.
Well, I call that walking on eggshells.
Yeah, that's called.
That is called dancing on emotions.
We can find that.
Yes, definitely. We're gonna do a little jig on a lot of eggshells, right?
But I think family dynamics have a lot.
Oh my God. It's just a mix. It's like this crazy soup, right? And you throw that into a teenager who, again, is hormonal, who is, trying to put on their best face at school. So one of my kids, I'll say, perfect. I mean, absolutely in school. No, nobody ever said anything but like, oh my God, amazing student, all this, all that, right? So here's this pressure, and you think, oh my God, great. But that provides a lot of pressure or the opportunity
on
the child, right? Unbeknownst to you, you're like, okay, everything's good. The kid gets in the car. I don't know. You were 10 seconds, behind the first car, and she wanted you to be in the first car. Why weren't you there? Like, you just start getting berated. The second that door opens, that smile turns off, and anything you could have done wrong, you did. Yeah. And they're going to let you know, and they're going to tell you about the day before, how bad, I'm just, obviously I'm exaggerating, but what I learned was they take their emotions and they dump it on, here it goes. Usually, I'm not going to say all the time, but a lot of times it's the mom because unconditional love.
Unconditional and always.
Oh, yeah. So it's like a badge of honor if your kid dumps a whole vial, a verbal dump on you.
I did it.
On the daily.
Listen, I was able to do that to my mother and not my father.
Yeah.
It was,
there's conditions. And when there's conditions, right? So usually, and I didn't catch on till my youngest was 16. Yeah. That's when I started catching on. I was like, oh, this is an honor. This is a badge of honor, right? Yeah. Where I need you to bring me my lunch, right? Not
up. Oh, okay, this is a good thing.
Yeah, no. But so I had to one day go, okay, this is so fucked up, right?
Yeah.
But this is how she's able to process, right, what's
She
happening and allowing her, yeah, to be that person that she's trying to show up at school, right? She's figuring out who she is. She's figuring out other people. She's figuring out all these emotions.
Yeah.
And then when she opens that car door, it's like an oasis for let it all out. Oh, it happens to be
Yes.
you, Mom. I chose you,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
But one very important thing that we haven't really, just said, and it's the there you said she.
I'm
There's a
sorry.
she in
I
there.
do have one she.
There's a she.
The
I'm not
jig is
saying
up
like
on who that is.
she's are great out there
lovely.
because listen,
Love
I
her.
know a few that are really challenging too, but the she, there's some kind of special button for that.
Oh, there is. It's the
Yeah.
mom-daughter relationship. And listen, I feel that, I believe, again, you and I both do, in karma and that we choose our lives. And I think that she and I go round and round with different relationships that I know I'm probably losing a lot of people here. They're like, wait, what?
No. If anything,
Yeah.
you're gaining. They're going,
Yeah.
yes, I can
Yeah.
relate.
But I feel like, and maybe this is just a way for me to rationalize it and emotionally balance it out, is that she and I made a contract up in heaven or wherever that, wherever we are.
Chose each other.
And we chose each other and we
Yeah.
said, listen, I love you so much and I trust you so
I'm
much
coming back.
that I'm going to be an asshole to you. So you learn this lesson, but you're going to help me learn this
Yes.
lesson too.
Yeah.
So that stuff, as cheesy as it sounds, it resonates with me.
Yes.
And it allows,
Same.
yeah, because you're going through what I went through, my goodness, 8 years ago. Well, no, actually it was 6 years ago. Yeah. Well, 8 years ago. It started 8 years. Okay.
Well, and I just think, it doesn't matter what phase you're in their life, in your life, and I only have one, you have three.
Yeah, but I feel like the amount of stress is stress.
Stress is stress, but I think I don't know. I mean, and I was older too when I had a little bit older
Mhm.
when I had her. And so, she was maybe a little more spoiled than
Right. Well,
some of the
she's
other
an
ones, and a
only
little
child. I
more-
think that, yeah,
Yeah, and
that
then I
does play
think,
into something, right?
and she's such a good kid. This is one of those podcasts where, we're going to say all these things, but at the end of the day, our kids, we have good kids.
We have
Our
great
are
kids. Yeah.
They're
No,
great.
my kids are all so soulfully sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are. And I mean,
that's
I'm
so good.
yeah, proud of them, but they still were teens,
They're teens.
right? They're still, yeah, I was a
it's
teen.
hard
I know I was probably an asshole.
Listen, it's
Not
hard
really.
for us. I always say, like, I'm always like, I just told her the other day, and she's like, that's really not a nice thing to say, Mom. And I go, you know why it wasn't nice? Because you didn't like the way you felt about yourself when I said it.
Right,
was-
right. Yeah.
She was like really just draining me, with buy this, and that's fine. Do this, and it was like literally everything, just draining
Life,
every
yeah.
source of everything within me. And I just said, I said, I just feel like lately, like if I was one of those people who, like, I just died tomorrow, it would be like, oh, well, okay, where's my, who's going to replace that source of
But that's how we
energy
feel,
and
but we
money
really,
and emotion?
we
and-
don't believe that. You're not going to buy that.
No.
That's your way of
That was my
releasing.
martyrdom.
Yes, that's your
When it
way
comes to
of
lying.
releasing that, right?
It was me being, putting her on the guilt trip because that
Yeah,
that worked for
absolutely.
me
I
when
didn't
I
want
was a
to
kid.
call it exactly
trip.
what it was, but that, yeah, ding, ding.
But it worked for
Way to
me
go,
when I
guilter.
was young, and my mom would say, I can't believe you talk to me like that. All I do is you."
Yes. Oh, here
And
you
I
go.
would go, oh, that was worse than get in your room or there was no cell phone.
Well,
to
there's
take
like
away.
that manipulation of guilt,
The guilt trip was
Yeah.
shitty.
Yeah, but a lot of, hey, look, that's like a lot of people's go-tos. I mean, my mom did it too.
But some are so
Sometimes I do,
sophisticated.
and I might still do it. I don't
some
know.
of these kids-
Anybody that's in my life, I'm
No,
sure they're like, listen, you do that plus a list of 25 other fucking
and
things
then
that we
I'll
don't
list the
like.
other 25.
Yeah, so can we come on and call you out?
But listen, with her, I think it's like, well, not even her, but some of them, no, her too. They're so sophisticated now that they'll look at you and go, "There's that martyrdom again."
Oh,
Try
yeah. Well, because
again.
they
You're
know,
just trying to
listen,
make
all the
me feel guilty."
buzzwords. They know
And then
all
you
the
go,
buzzwords to piss you
don't
off.
Really, they would say, "What you
Yeah.
just said, you don't really think that. You just want me to feel like crap." And then
Right.
you're kind of like, you shit, give me your phone type thing. You just
Yes,
you
yes.
run out of things to because we didn't if they didn't come with a book, there's no book.
No.
Some people try to write a book and say, here's how to
Right.
raise teens. You know.
No. I mean, look, I got some nuggets
No.
of wisdom, maybe in a few, but it was really like you are just thrown in this arena
Yeah.
and
Of
you're like,
darkness.
whoa, okay, hang on. Okay, I thought it was tough in the beginning. Wow. Now it's like there's some saying, and I'm going to screw it up, but arguing with a teenager is like, something about a pig in slop, like wrestling a pig in slop.
Yeah, you can't do it.
After all,
It's impossible.
they like
give
it,
in.
basically.
like
They
it. You gotta
like
give
it. They
in.
want to engage because, again, this is the way that I would look at it. When, my oldest was oh God, he was such I won't even call it a debater. Everything he said was wrong.
Ugh.
Everything, like that constant, and it was
Like,
so
no, it's not
whittling me
that.
down,
Yeah.
right? Like it was, he just had a rebuttal for everything. Hey, it's time to get up. I'm not, oh my God, why do you have to come
No,
in
it's
here like
not.
that?
No,
And it
it's
was like,
not. My friend's going through that too. I'm going through it. Yes.
it
I
just
know.
like what he mentally
God.
exhausted all of us in the house before like 8 a.m., right? But it's because he was going through his own things, and that is a way to, for them,
a release valve
release valve in a healthy space, right? So
without any major consequences.
without any, other than
still some
the
support.
the anxiety it gives
God's
off to
like
your
that.
mother.
It's the same with God. It's kind of
Yes.
like, you got to learn your lesson, but and we're the next closest thing to that with them. So I believe that. I had a client the other day. She came in and we were talking about this kind of stuff, and I mentioned, they ask you, oh, what have you been up to? And you go, oh, the teenagers learning how to drive. It's really challenging. And we got into this conversation that progressed from there. And she was talking to her boss or something. And she's like, yeah, my son, he didn't do his homework. And the teachers called me. He's in 4th grade, something like that. And she was really, really upset about it.
Yeah.
Because I guess he has some learning disabilities and
Aw.
things. And she's just worried about him struggling long term. And so she was talking about that. And he's like, he's not doing his homework. That's, these are like little, wait until they become, they're driving and the friends are drinking.
Yes.
Someone's doing drugs. And then, then they're studying abroad. And then somebody gets broken up with and they're, really depressed. And, and through every stage, though, it's all relative. I think they just, like you said, they get more complicated, but.
And I do feel like there's a stage too, and I noticed this with my own children and some of their friends.
Yeah.
Like just from talking to moms,
Yeah.
And it's right around, at least for my kids, it was like 15, 16, but more 16 when they were able to drive, right?
The driving.
This independent, but this almost weird detachment that happens, or I wouldn't call it detachment, but like let's just say we were locked arm in arm, right? My Jack and I were always arm in arm, and then the next thing I know there's no, I'm like, oh, what happened?
I'm having that now.
Okay, so you want to know what I think, and probably other people do, there's probably books written about it, but that is their way of like kind of becoming a mini adult, and they have a couple more years left, but it's so that they also are going to miss you and they're scared, so I think it's this healthy almost subconscious detachment that happens. And so a lot of it comes in the form of, guess what, gonna have to be like,
I mean, I just thought it would be maybe a little more incremental.
no, it doesn't come.
Let me tell you, the demarcation, the line in the sand.
Yeah, there's
right
no cruise control on this.
No, it's literally the driver's license, or the friends have the driver's license, and then that's it. Like you're pretty much like,
because you were their source of complete, resource, right? You're that resource. You pick them up. They're so dependent on you. So when they become a little less dependent, which is what we want, right? But they're detaching slowly. But I remember going, oh my God. And then it's happening, but it's supposed to, I believe, happen that way because, my God,
it is.
It's scary for them, and we don't, I think, because a lot of our kids, some people, I think their children come home and tell them, they've had a poop at school. They give them all the details, right?
Yeah.
Everything. My kids just weren't that. Like, they held a lot of stuff What does that say about me? God, I'm like,
Well, I mean, but you know what? Then I'm looking on the Life 360 to see where she
yeah,
is, and I see they're driving like 84, 90, and
yeah.
then I'm going, oh, hell.
Yes, yes. Oh,
I,
that listen,
I don't
I
want to
shut
see
that
that.
shit
I don't want
down.
to see that either.
No,
Oh, God.
something when my boys were teenagers. So they were 12 and 13, and I just happen to remember that because it's one of those things when you're raising teenagers, right? Like, okay, you've got to we are here to teach them, right? We
Yeah.
are here to help them with the bumpers of their own lives
Yeah.
until they go off, right?
Right.
So I was working, and I just started a company, my skincare company. I was working for a cosmetic line, and I was doing contract work for another company
Yeah,
on the
I
side.
know.
So, like
I
I
know.
was pretty busy and taking my kids to
We've
school,
both done that. Yeah.
doing,
Multiple
yeah,
things at
single
once.
mom.
Multiple jobs
Yeah,
at once. Yeah.
there we go. So that was my life. And it was just my boys and my daughter and I at my house. I'd come home every day and I would clean I'm just a little bit, or I used to be neurotic. Somehow I'm not
I
anymore.
was too, but now
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
what? Nobody
fuck
else
it.
cares.
No. Yeah, you
and
kind of
I'm
lose that
That's
fight.
the other thing. I'm just kind of running around cleaning.
Yeah,
up after
no, it
everybody and
gets
everything.
it
And
gets
then I'm kinda
crazy.
like, you know what?
Yeah, then you start to get. I used
You
to
run out of
freak out
steam. You
like
run out of
once a month.
steam.
Once a month,
Oh,
I'd
I
have
have
a
those.
freak out. Oh yeah,
Oh,
here she goes.
my canister's filling.
Yeah,
It's about
and
to
I'm
go.
like, so one of those moments happened with my boys. So I was, had those 3 jobs. It was like I remember it being like November the 8th or something like that, something like that, right?
That's profound.
It
because you
was,
remember the-
yes, I do.
That'd be a big
Yes,
day.
it's over a decade ago,
Yeah.
and the basement was a shit show. Like they were leaving food everywhere every single day, right? And I go home and it was like this craziness. And I said, hey guys, here's the deal. I am done yelling.
Yeah.
I am done screaming. I am just done with this. So
Yeah.
here's the deal.
Yep.
If I come here again, like you've been warning shots were there, and
you
I don't
guys
give that
have-
many
yeah.
because I'm like, okay,
Right.
you gotta
It's
be
nice
able to
about it. There's
Yeah.
grace. There's a lot of grace.
There was so
Grace.
much grace that I was bent over backwards like a
Yes.
pretzel.
Yes.
So no more grace was given, but I did say, listen, here's your last warning shot. If I come home again, and I'll call you, I'm gonna even give you a little like heads up. If I come home and see this place looks like, the mice are gonna come or the rats or whatever, because you guys are pigs, you've stopped respecting what I do for you.
Yeah.
And so Christmas is coming. Guess what?
That's going to be reflective.
Well, reflective is in
Nothing.
nothing. No, I swear. And so I said, I'm telling you, this is not me doing it now. This will happen. You will not receive a Christmas gift from me. Heads up, you know who the Christmas man is, and it is this woman. Okay? So,
See, mine would
warning
say
shot.
that's bullshit.
Well, guess what? Okay. So I give him a call a couple days later, say, I'm on my way home. Please make sure I do not want to take Christmas away from you. It is 6
I'm
weeks
gonna
away, but I will because I am done.
So
I'm done being disrespected like this.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, Mom, I swear. I'm like, and I gave him another call. I was outside the house. I said, I'm about to come in. Last opportunity, please.
I really mean it.
I really mean it. And guess what? Guess what
What?
I walked into?
Clean?
That
Shit show.
would be a stupid story, wouldn't it?
Okay. So you did withhold the Christmas.
I did. So
I would
Christmas
too.
comes
I would too.
around,
I would too.
and now my daughter,
Too.
who was like,
What?
honest to God, a
Yeah.
blue ribbon first prize for everything, I swear. Did everything right. So she got like a bang up Christmas, right?
Whoa.
And my boys, who were, like I said, 12 and 13, went
Good
to their
for you.
stockings. Yeah, it was rough.
So
it was
glad you
really
did
rough.
that.
I had people telling me, you cannot take Christmas away. I go, you can't tell me. Hey, if your kid's a brat and you want to give them gifts, you go for it. I'm
Yeah.
not signing up for
At
that
some
shit
point,
anymore.
you
I'm not a
have to.
hostage
You
to this.
You have to.
I have to
know.
teach them something,
I
right?
know.
So
Or-
it was,
That's the problem with our youth right now.
yeah.
There's
Well,
there's
no consequences,
And
right?
I'm guilty of that
Yeah.
myself.
So guess what? Here's just the tail end
I need
of
to do
this.
it. Go.
So he ended up, they went to their stockings, nothing in them. I didn't like put coal.
Like
I wasn't an
nothing at all.
asshole. Nothing,
zero.
nothing. No,
zero.
not even a stick of gum.
Did you say everybody get up? It's Christmas.
I did. Well, I did. I mean, I wasn't like gonna rub it in. I thought about doing a Hoover vacuum for one of them. I did. I was gonna wrap up vacuum cleaners. I was like, that's just an asshole
girl.
move.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
That's
just
a
got
little
nothing.
extreme.
They
Here,
got nothing.
Here's your Christmas
Yeah, they
gift.
probably wrapped my neck around with it. But so there's nothing in there. And my oldest son, he's always been very energetic, right? Big life personality. He's like, are you serious? I hate you. Start crying, ran upstairs. Now, my middle son's a little more pragmatic,
Wow.
very black and white. He's like,
wow.
well, he's like, what you said was reasonable. I understand. All right. And then he just went upstairs like there was yes. So, but
He's
it's
like rationalizing. Well, okay.
yeah.
now
Well,
I'm
he's like,
realizing she said
yeah,
it.
emotional
it's
ran
not
upstairs,
happening.
right?
Okay.
The logical was like, well,
Like-
actually,
like-
we
like-
did get a lot of warning
like,
shots.
Like fucking Pavlov's
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
Is that what
yes, Pavlov's dogs. Yes. So anyway, it was like, but those are the moments of like
Wow.
a teenager, right? Like I was faced with this societal shit of this is a commercialized, holiday around Jesus's birthday, right? But it becomes more about the gifts, unfortunately, for a lot of people, right?
Yeah. Christmas
And
starts in what, September?
I don't
now?
know, dude. I don't
Shopping.
know. I want to bail out.
June, July.
But yeah, whatever it is, it's kind of crazy, right?
It is.
So
It is.
but I was
It's hard
like-
to keep up with now with the kids. It's hard.
yeah, I will
Really
tell
hard.
you this. My oldest son still brings that up occasionally. And he's like,
Guys, he was scarred.
well, yeah, yeah.
Hey, it
But-
worked, I guess.
But you know
right?
what
Did it work?
happened is after that, when I would say, guys, there's another warning shot, they actually listened.
It
They
is.
listened pretty well because you can't, there's a disciplinarian that like in us all, right? And if we keep giving and letting, they have us as bumpers for a reason
Yeah.
because we know a few more things than they do most of the time.
And if you say it, this is okay. If this, then this. You have to fulfill that.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
Otherwise, it's
You're not,
like,
yeah, playing fake chicken.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Not my kids knew. They like do not play chicken with mom.
I have one example for this, only one, really. And it was, there's two. One is the cell phone got taken away when there were 3 B's on the report card.
Okay,
And the only reason, I know there's an audience that's going to be like, are you serious?
that's what I'd
Nine
say. I'd be
weeks I did it.
celebrating.
And the only reason was because she was a straight
God,
A.
Cindy,
Well,
Sydney.
She was a straight A student.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
was her only thing that she
Okay.
had. And it came naturally. Like if she were to like study really hard, it would be.
Right. You know your kid, right?
I know my kid. So it's like if it's an F, a D, whatever, you didn't understand the material. If it's
Right.
a B or a C, you're just
Or you didn't go to
lazy.
school.
You're lazy and you
Mhm.
didn't care and you did nothing. So I really did hold
Her
the
accountable.
phone for 9 weeks until the next.
Wow.
It was tough.
Wow.
She was at an age where, they
balls,
were, it
baby.
was like they were like making their plans and cultivating these, friendships now as teens. And I stuck to my guns.
So did
on
she
that
get?
one.
Did she? What was her next report card?
I think, I can't remember exactly. It was either straight A's or 1B.
Okay.
There was never allowed
It
to
was
be
a
more than
cleanup
2.
situation.
I said, if you ever get more than two, that's bad. But if you ever get more than 2, then that's just, we're not having that.
Okay. Because you knew you knew what she was capable of.
Well, and the other one was, I said, I never hit her, I never spanked her or anything
Right,
like that.
same.
But two of the things that she grew up with was you have to be nice to everybody. I better never hear that you talked back to an adult.
Right.
That's my job.
Right.
I will do that.
Right.
Even if they deserve it, you don't do that as a kid. I don't want to hear that you mouthed off to an adult. Then you're in trouble. Even if they were wrong. It's got to be me. And the other one was if I find out you've ever bullied anybody or been mean to another child or something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
there's big trouble.
Right.
She never was. And then we had a birthday party that was a big birthday party. It was like this glamping party. And there were like some mean girls that came that were mean popular type. the mean
Okay.
girls.
Yeah. They peak early in life.
And one of the girls that everybody kind of picked on, they this was a Catholic school.
Okay.
Not many kids. She was there. They were all there. And I spent so much time and money on this thing, and it was like beyond. It was
Right.
like over and beyond. And they were bullying her and like hitting her with, kind of beating on her, this girl.
Oh wow.
Right? And I asked some of the older girls that were chaperoning, did my daughter participate?
Right.
And they kind of gave me a look like, well,
Uh-oh.
And I said, did she? Yes.
Oh,
So I grabbed her and I said, I'm going to
yeah.
ask you one time. And I
Mm.
know the answer already. So if you lie, it's so much worse.
Yes.
Did you participate? Yes or no? Yes, I did. I said, good, cool. Let's go into the shed.
Yeah.
Took her in there and I beat her ass.
Yeah.
I know there's probably a
Wow.
lot of people that'll be like, oh my God. No, she never did it. She was like sobbing at her
Right,
birthday
right,
party. It was
right.
the only time I ever spanked her, ever.
Right.
Because I thought this little girl came to this, her parents entrusted us to keep her safe, brought you
Yeah.
a gift. I went out of my way. I trusted you to, like,
Yeah.
and you let these
Yeah.
assholes influence you. I mean, they've
Right,
always been
right.
little asshole kids, these couple
Yeah.
of girls. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mothers would lie for them, and it wasn't that bullshit. We
Right.
all knew it was, but the point was she didn't. She knew after that.
Right, right. And she didn't do it again.
But now I'm faced with a whole new set of issues.
Oh, it is. Listen, the whole
It's not
teenage
that stuff
thing.
now.
Yeah, it is. It's rough because they're hormonal too. I mean, let's just talk about the
the
girls right now.
hormones,
Like
yeah.
but the guys as well.
Yeah.
They're hormonal and there's just so much that, they're trying to pull away from us, right? But how do like I would always say to them that, oh, you don't love me, or no, I love you. I've never stopped loving you with this fiery intensity. I don't like you right now.
Right.
And that's okay. Like
I love
you're
you,
not
but I don't
somebody
like
that's
you.
likable to me right now. And I would, maybe that's harsh, maybe that's not nice, but it's the truth. And your behavior, you're being an asshole. Like, my kids would wake up and I'd be like, good morning. I could have said, oh my
So
God,
nice,
would you like,
hey.
what? What?
Hey, Sid. What?
Yes, but that is
Sometimes it's
normal.
disgust.
It
It's not
is.
even like, "Rah,"
But it's discussed more about them, right? And it was hard
It is.
initially because I'm like, wait, what's happening here? Did I enunciate incorrectly?
and then you think,
Was
what
my
did I-
tone?
I mean,
But
it
it didn't matter what I said. It was just the voice
I
that
think
triggered it.
I don't know about you, but I do think it's arguably one of the hardest phases in life.
Yes.
It is
Yeah,
probably
for both
the
of us.
hardest.
For both of us.
Yes.
I always thought
yes.
my dogs. So we had 2 dogs, and now one passed away. But I said this is why there are dogs, right? Dogs and cats. I don't have any cats, but that's why we have dogs, is because it's this unconditional
That's
love.
right.
Like they're not looking at me sideways.
on something.
Yeah, like when I
might
feed
call
them,
man
they're
out.
happy
They're
about
barking
it.
a
They're
little
not
bit.
complaining,
Yeah.
I don't like this, or whatever.
right.
No, I buy them something, they actually eat it. They don't throw it
Ooh,
away.
They can't wait to see you when you walk in the door.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No. So I loved, and I thought, that was one of the things that at least got me through that really
Oh, me
stretch of
too.
of,
My
of
dog.
time,
Yeah.
right? But your kids, they need you, and they need you to have that flexibility of, and it's a delicate dance of, okay, giving them the wiggle room, because emotionally they're coming home and they're dumping it typically out, if you have a safe home, right? For them to do that.
Yes.
And then the balance of suck it the fuck up. Okay, because I wasn't
really hard to
coddling
navigate
my
this.
kids. I just didn't. And whether they're going to find themselves on a therapist chair, or maybe they are now. Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wasn't the coddler. I was kind and compassionate, but I was not a coddler.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, life isn't fair. I don't even like that word. Let's stop using it.
And then when you come from a home where, luckily, her dad and I have co-parented so well to a point where it's like people look at us and go, how did you guys do it?
Right.
Because
you put her at the forefront.
well, we discussed this years ago. If he was adamant about something, even if I disagreed, I would say, I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
Because the minute they see that you're, dividing with your
Yes.
decisions, then they can play you.
Absolutely.
So we didn't do that. And
That
if he
is
sees
so
that I'm like that,
key.
he'll be, even if he's like, oh, that's stupid, he still will be like, okay, well,
But that's what your mother said, because it's
Yes.
about keeping that
Yes.
respect. No, my kids would ping pong us around.
Yeah, see, we
That's
did
really
not
good.
do that. We
I
made
tried not
sure.
to, but
Yeah, well,
it happened. And
Well,
then
we
I
made
realized,
that
yeah,
goal. Yeah, I know.
yeah, that was
That was one
was
of the
not my
things.
finer moments. I'm like, God dang it, get your butt back here. I'm going to dad.
I know. Well, I know. And
Yeah.
I've had a couple of those.
Yeah.
But even if she does that and says, dad was yelling at me, I just want to come to my mom's, I will say to her, you know what, Sid? you can come here, and she'll come, and I'll say, but Daddy does everything for you. And he's just frustrated right now because da da da.
Right,
I never
right.
go, that jerk, get over.
Right, but because
Ever.
you don't want to make her feel bad about her dad and vice versa. That's a
No,
mature,
her father's
know.
so great. I mean,
Yeah.
she's a
But
wonderful
that's
father.
great because I think having that
That about me,
ability
too. I
to
think
take yourself out of. I mean, there's a reson that you're not together, but that's okay. But you
Yeah,
can
but
co-parent
we-
nicely,
yeah.
and that's whatever.
Right. I mean, and technically, like, we would still consider, it's like, I love his family. He
Yeah.
talks to my dad, I mean, if he needs something.
Well, it just
we
makes
just
it
have a great,
easier.
there's no animosity or anything like
Yeah, but the teenage years, man, I am gonna
Tough.
tell you, they were. I had like my oldest, he found himself in a little bit of, like not a little bit of trouble, nothing major, right? But at the time,
one?
you're just Jack.
Okay.
Yeah, Jack.
Old Jack.
Jack's colorful. Listen, he's lived a
Jack
life,
that
and he's
said, "Are you
25.
serious about the stalking?"
Oh yeah, he was definitely
Devastated.
yeah, but so he found himself in a little bit of trouble. And I remember like trying to, like, my hair started to fall out and I started to look like a speckled, like, trout. And I called my friend who's I was like, why is my skin all speckled? She's like, you're in acute, what is it? High anxiety, like I forget what the
panic, anxiety.
yeah, whatever it was. And she's like, that's what that is. I'm like, oh, wow, my
Wow.
hair's falling out. She goes, yeah. She goes, it's stress. It's your adrenal, whatever is so high. And I thought, oh my God.
The
But like,
cortisol.
yes, that's what it was.
adrenaline
She
glands,
said
all
it was
that,
yeah, my cortisol
Yeah.
was shot through the roof, right? But, like
Imagine
how do you balance that?
I don't
I was
know.
just like, I feel like the dogs, they got a lot of it. Hope they were out there
dogs are-
grounding by the tree because I
They're-
was giving them a lot of accidental anxiety. I'm like, oh, sorry, y'all. Come here, give me a hug. I'm giving it to you.
Aw, you know what? There's such sources of
They are.
like
Yeah.
therapy.
But here's the thing is that we go through it and not everybody's teenager is that way, but I do feel I wanted my kids, and I said to them, I'm like, listen, I want you to find, and this is sage advice, I want you to find a little bit of trouble before you go to college.
Yeah.
Not a lot of trouble, but I
Little
want
bit.
you to know what that is so that I actually did tell them that. I don't, now that I'm thinking about it, I maybe should have given an option of not to do it as well. But
No, I don't know about
I'm
that,
like,
though,
go
because
find trouble.
I don't know about that because I'm
and my
so-
oldest signed up for it.
Oh well.
He did. He's like, you
He's
did.
like, wait,
He's like, I'm gonna find trouble
hold on
for
a second.
me, her, and him.
Hold on. She warned me about Christmas. I better follow this instruction.
Right? Yeah. No. He gave me the finger. Like, see ya.
I know what happened at Christmas. I'm gonna find
yeah,
some trouble.
Yeah. Right. Here
Damn it.
we go. Anyway, but no, raising teenagers is difficult. It's like
Yeah.
somebody takes them over. They're like this is a hostage situation, and
Yeah,
they
like a
change.
parasite.
They take the body out, and
Yeah.
it's your kid, but it's not. This is all normal. If you're experiencing this, welcome to the
Welcome to the
fucking
club.
club, man. Wow. But it is also a club that, listen, our kids need us.
But I think it carries into the 20s too.
Oh,
Sometimes.
it does. I'm in there.
Yeah, I know some people.
Yeah. No, but it's all good.
friends.
Listen, it still carries. Like, but you see, you help raise this person that
Yeah.
is now, a full-fledged
And it's
adult.
gonna be okay.
And it is fine. And they do love us.
be okay.
They just sometimes don't know how, and they get so excited in their own personal lives that they kind of lose perspective. But
Do you think one day they're gonna leave
Ab-
us, like in the nursing home to rot away and just?
I don't
not
know.
pay
It
attention?
depends. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to
we
bet
can, like-
either way, honestly. I don't know what's going to happen. I think they're going to take my license at like 55. Be like, okay, this is a group. It's unanimous, Mom. You suck at driving, and now we got to
decided
take your
we
license.
need everything in your bank account and your
Yeah, well,
your
good luck
keys
with
and-
that.
And you're 55
That's not
and
going to get you that
You've
far.
had some brain fog with this menopause. It's time.
Right,
gonna
right.
consult the attorney.
Exactly. Anyway, all right. That's our take on raising teenagers and, a couple of our experiences, and just keep on trucking. They need us. And then this is unconditional love if they're mistreating you like this. So that's actually, you're doing well.
You're doing good. It's all
Have a
good.
great day.